Okay, good morning. Nice to be here today. Contagious. So what I like to talk about at QuickLogic is what we're doing innovation-wise for mobile products, and specifically multimedia-enabled mobile products. So first, our vision. Our vision as a company is to provide complete solutions enabling mobile device OEMs and OEMs to bring products to market very quickly. That's a key word in the mobile space. As John Dana said, their design cycles are 6 months. We need to enable them to bring those products to market safely within that 6 months. Cost effectively, of course, BOM cost is king in consumer. And then lastly is differentiated. In the mobile space today, you see a lot of convergence between companies delivering similar products to the market. And so we want to enable those companies to deliver differentiated products both at the hardware level and at the user experience level. And as Tom mentioned, historically, we've been an FPGA company. We've been around through several of these down cycles. We're still here, which is good. And we are a fabless company. We have 99 patents primarily in the areas of low-power programmable logic. And what we've done is we've taken that low-power programmable logic technology and turned it into a new category of semiconductors that we call customer-specific standard products. And our value proposition to customers is not only about the solution that we're delivering based on our programmable logic, it's also the process by which we engage with those customers. We're not an FPGA company or a standard product company in the sense of the customer engagement. And hopefully through the course of this presentation, you'll get a better feeling of what I mean by that. So first, where are we focused as a company? Well, you know the three macro segments: cellular, consumer electronics, and compute. Within those macro segments, we're focused on applications that we consider to be high growth and differentiated. So for example, in the smartphone segment, we're focused on the higher end of that, not the ultra-low-cost handset. In the CE segment, some of these converged devices that have cellular connectivity and navigation, for example. And in the compute segment, some of these emerging segments like mobile internet devices, as well as netbooks. Where have we been successful today with CSSPs? These are some of our publicly known design wins. The HP iPAC, Industrial PDA or Enterprise PDA. The first foray of HTC into the ultra-mobile PC space with the Athena product. Broadband data cards, Option Wireless, probably the number one guy in Europe, one of the leaders in the world in broadband data cards in this product. And then lastly, somebody very close to home here in the US, navigation company called Garmin, worldwide leader in portable navigation, and we're in several designs and products that they ship. All of these customers today are using a CSSP from QuickLogic. So what is a CSSP? CSSP stands for Customer Specific Standard Product. And that may seem like an oxymoron. How can something be customer specific but also be standard product? Well, if we go back to what John was talking about in his slides, he was saying programmable logic is great because you can do one mask, one die, and sell it to many customers. So at QuickLogic, we believe in that value proposition as well. However, we take a slightly different approach. So we do standard product die, and they sit in our inventory as we develop them, but we customize each one of those before we ship that to a customer. So we get the economic value proposition of being a programmable logic company or having standard products where you sell one die to many customers, but the customers actually receive something like nobody else received in the world. So they receive something custom, much like an ASIC. So how do we do that? Well, again, we have standard product silicon, some of which has programmable fabric, some of which has been purposed for other system blocks. So what kind of system blocks? Well, if you look at a mobile device, there's a handset of proven system blocks depending on the subsystem that you're talking about. So you have memory, I/O, display. All of these have different standards. And what's happening now in the industry is that buses are going serial. No longer can you have high-speed parallel buses running around a mobile device. So by going serial, you have to make a decision as a semiconductor company, are you going to play in that subsystem or not? And if you are going to play in that subsystem, you need to dedicate certain amounts of that silicon for those functions. So examples of high-speed serial, of course, everybody knows about USB. Building USB out of purely programmable logic doesn't make economic sense. But purposing a portion of the die for USB does make sense if you're going to play in that subsystem. So QuickLogic, if you go to our website and you learn more about our platforms, you'll see many of them are purposed for certain building blocks. And later in the presentation, I'll be announcing a new family that we're announcing today that's purposed for one of these subsystems. So just providing IP and a semiconductor device to a customer doesn't make a lot of sense, especially if you go back to the point that a lot of these OEMs and ODMs in the consumer market need to turn designs in 6 months. They need something proven both at the IP level. They also need it proven at the software driver level, because the two have to work in order for the system to work. So in addition to the silicon and the proven system blocks at the IP level, we also have a team dedicated in QuickLogic to providing software drivers for the common operating systems that you'll see in a mobile device. And in most cases, we have those coupled with system-level verification next to the popular application and baseband processors that ship in these mobile devices. So this whole package of silicon, IP, software drivers, and system-level verification is what we call the CSSP, the customer-specific standard product. In almost every case, each customer is getting a unique CSSP based on their combination of proven system blocks, processor, and software drivers. Okay? So what's the value proposition of that? The first and foremost is that they're proven. If you go back to the OEMs and ODMs in this space, they're turning designs so fast, if they miss that window, they're missing that revenue for that entire 6 months. So they like the fact that these are proven in system next to the processor. The second is that you get integration. Can you do this a different way? Sure. You can go buy 2, 3, 4 ASSPs and stitch them together in a system. But that's counter to the fact that these devices are getting smaller and smaller and under so much BOM cost pressure. Integration pays off in that area. The third is architecture knowledge. It's very difficult to sell a standard product by throwing a product over the wall to the customer. You have to have an architecture discussion with that customer in order to add value and architect the right CSSP that's going to fit in their system. So this architecture knowledge in these subsystems is key. And then lastly is flexibility. The fact that we have programmable logic on our chip means that we can change the design through the design process. If marketing comes back at the end of a design cycle and they want to add something else, you can accommodate that in programmable logic without spinning the chip, without having that long mask making and wafer cycle. So the fact this is programmable logic means you can be flexible for this design. If you think about a platform concept, you design once with this platform, you can also customize that in the next design very easily. So these are the 4 key value propositions of CSSPs. From a proven system block perspective, as I said, we look at the mobile device in terms of subsystems. So we have storage, networking, video and imaging, custom options or security. This is an interesting topic actually, because in some mobile devices, an OEM may want to have some amount of custom logic in that CSSP. And because we have programmable fabric, we can accommodate that requirement. We also have the area that we call intelligence. So it's not just about adding an extra SD port or USB port that the baseband manufacturer decided not to put in or missed that cycle. You can actually have onboard intelligence so that different peripherals can communicate with each other. Think about side-loading content from your PC to your phone. Maybe you need that content to go into a specific memory in the device. So these intelligence blocks that we call SPIDA, and announced about a month ago, enable people to do this type of smart data transfer within a system. So not just about standards-based IP, but intelligent IP that adds value to the consumer user experience. So today, what we've announced are actually new CSSP proven system blocks for the mobile space. V2.0 and MDDI Type 2 client. So I'm going to stop for a second and bribe you. $20 for the first person that can say what MDDI means. And unlike the state of California, I'm going to give you cash, not an IOU.